TSN, the sports network, coast to coast.
It is the richest prize in curling today, the McCain TSN Skins Game. 4 of curling's best rinks playing for $80,000. 2 rinks have already qualified, defending champion Russ Howard and last year's Brier and world champion Rick Folk. And joining them at curling's ultimate cash spiel, the winners of the McCain SuperSpiel West and its eastern counterpart. And together they make up the McCain SuperSpiel. It's early November, and 32 of Western Canada's best curling teams are making their way to Portage, Prairie, Manitoba, about an hour west of Winnipeg. Skip Brad Height, along with lead Dan Ormsby, and second Wayne Charteris, are farmers from Care Robert, Saskatchewan, located near the Alberta border. Third, Mark Dacey skipped his own rink to a SuperSpiel West title 5 years ago. However, Brad Height and the rest of his team, well, they've never won a national major bonspiel.
In most places, we're always banging around, knocking on the door type of thing. I don't think you could, you know, rate us up with, you know, Vic Peters or Kevin Martin. They've, you know, gone that extra level into the world competition and stuff, so they're kind of in an elite group, but I'd say, you know, we're right behind them, and maybe someday we'll have the chance.
The McCain SuperSpiel West will give the Height rink a chance to play the very best. Western Canada's premier teams have come to compete for that elusive spot in the McCain TSN Skins Game final. And of the 32, there are 3 definite favorites, all former Canadian champions. Ed Lukowich, Cool Hand Luke, also the '87 Skins Game winner, former world champion. Kevin Martin, the 1991 Brier champion, the reigning VO Cup champion as well. And from Winnipeg, Vic Peters, who captured the '92 Brier and has made it to the finals of that very tough Manitoba Tankard a remarkable 5 times. And as expected, Martin and Lukowich advanced to the quarterfinals without losing a game. But Peters, on the other hand, has his hands full with Saskatoon's Gary Shyrick in the round of 16. Shyrick's ranked the leading money winner on this year's World Curling Tour, and the young skip shows why. Look at this absolute beauty. The angle takeout off the button to lie 3. That leaves Peters just 1 shot. He has to draw the 4-foot for the win, and he shows his Brier winning cool right here. 4-foot, T-line for the win. And now he'll meet Brad Height, keeping a close eye on the game and now eager to play Peters.
You're not really intimidated at all. Really look forward to playing those guys. That's kind of the measuring stick, you know, if you can play well against them and, you know, beat them or even, you know, take them right to the wall. It's kind of a gauge of your character and your talent, so really look forward to those type of games.
And surprising everyone, and maybe even himself a little bit, Brad dominates his clash with the former Brier champion.
We played Vic last year in this very same game on the same sheet, and we went an extra end with them, and it was a good finish. And I figured if we played a good game today, we'd have a good run at him.
And he had a great run at him. Here he hits and stays for 3 en route to a surprisingly easy 10-4 win and a trip to the Final 4. And waiting for him there, Cool Hand Luke, Ed Lukowich, who has curled brilliantly so far, winning his first 4 games. We'll have that match and the other semifinal as well between Winnipeg's Scott Hamilton and Kevin Martin of Edmonton when we come back.
Super crisp, super spirals. McCain, what have you done to my fries?
We've spiced them up.
All right.
We've crisped them up.
Brilliant.
We've even curled them up.
Excellent.
McCain has taken its famous super fries, dipped them in light batter, and surrounded them with bite after bite of crispy, crunchy, super spicy satisfaction. Straight ahead or curled around. Super crisps and super spirals from McCain. You'll love what we've done to your fries.
From antifreeze to air filters to wiper blades. Inside, outside, top to bottom, Canadian Tire has you covered. Because we have the experience that comes from servicing over 10,000 cars every day and more than 65,000 auto parts and products, which means we help maintain more cars than anyone. So whatever you need, come to the one place with everything, Canadian Tire. There's a lot more for your car for a lot less.
Sport is everyday life, drama and excitement. Canadians play it, live it. The triumphs, the falls, intrigue and exposure. Our love for the game goes beyond the final score, beyond the headlines. Because inside sports, there's more than one story.
The pulse of sport news. Dave Hodge and TSN Inside Sports. Weeknights on Real TV, TSN.
This could be it.
He has been considered one of Canada's elite curlers ever since he won the Canadian Junior Championship in 1985. Kevin Martin. And he fulfilled his promise with a win at the Labatt Brier in 1991. Earlier this year, his team captured the VO Cup and was undefeated at the McCain SuperSpiel West when they hooked up with Scott Hamilton.
The reason you're in this Bonspiel is a chance to play in the skins game. It's excellent competition, but that's not the biggest reason you play in this Bonspiel. The biggest thing is to try to get to the McCain skins somehow, and it would be excellent to manage to stumble through this thing.
And we'll pick up the Martin-Hamilton semifinal in the fifth end with Martin leading 2-1. Bluestone shot rock, but last rock, the hammer belonging to Hamilton. He makes the hit and the stick for 2, and Hamilton takes a 3-2 lead. But in the sixth end, Martin has a chance to return the favor, get the deuce right back. He has the open draw for 2. And Martin, with all that experience, won't waste it, as he'll draw the paint for his 2 and a 4-3 lead. Hamilton will get one back in the 7th, and then in the 8th, tied 4-4, Martin with a chance for a big end.
Oh, I'm trying to go right through the hole and go bang, and that's when it ends up over here someplace.
So Martin looking at least 3, maybe 4, here in the 8th end. The front end, James Paul on the left, Don Bartlett trying to get it past that center line guard. Got it by, there's the hit on 1. They'll get 3, they can't move the second stone far enough, but it's a big 3 in the 8th. They'd go on to blank the 9th. Hamilton would run out of rocks in the 10th, giving Kevin Martin a 7-4 win and guaranteeing a trip to the McCain SuperSpiel West final. Not much time before their semifinal with Ed Lukowicz, so Brad Height and team get together in the curling club dining room. Brad and third Mark Dacey are considered 2 of Saskatchewan's premier skips. However, this year, Dacey didn't have time to organize his team, so the Prairie Dream Team was formed.
Well, I just told him there'd be no pressure on him, and if he couldn't come on a weekend, he didn't have to bother, so no pressure on him. He just, when he can make it, he can come, and when not, we'll do without, I guess.
Right. So, how's it worked out so far? So far, really good. I'm enjoying not throwing the last rocks, and Bradley's making some good shots. Everybody's playing pretty well, so far, so good. Let's just hope we can keep it going.
There's no doubt Brad had to be considered the underdog against Lukowicz, but Luke, well, he wasn't taking him lightly.
He's a tough player. You wouldn't want to arm wrestle him for the dollars that are involved, so I won't try that. I mean, he's just a really tough player, and so, like, he's one of the guys that maybe isn't that well known, but by all the curlers, they sure know him.
And the match was even until the 4th, when Height, playing blue, had a chance to hit and stay for 2.
Hard! Hard! Real hard! Real hard! Hey! Quick hard! Right up! Geez, I don't know why I played that shot.
Brad had to settle for 1 and tied the score 2-2 after 4. However, Height put some pressure on without last rock in the 5th, lying 2. Lukowicz, his final stone, needing the double. And no one sees them better. The Rays double 1-2, and he'll pick up 1 and a 3-2 lead. They would blank 6 and 7, and then in the 8th, Height facing another 2 yellow stones, 1 top 8, and that biter at the top of the 12-foot. He must hit and stay here as well. Remember what happened in the 5th. He couldn't hold the shooter. And once again, he gets bitten. The shooter will slide out. Lukowicz, that nasty biter at the top, steals 1. It's 4-2 after 8. Brad would get 1 back in the 9th, but it wasn't enough, as Ed Lukowicz advances to the McCain SuperSpiel West final.
Good luck, you guys. Thanks.
As for Brad Height, it would be a long drive back to Kerr Roberts, Saskatchewan.
The guys curled well enough to win. If I could have just put some finishing touches on a few shots, we'd have made it a lot different game. We had, I don't know, 2 or 3 chances for deuces, and we come out empty on them all. So,
Mark, you've been through this a few times before. Is he being too hard on himself?
Well, he's being hard on himself, but I've been there, and I was hard on myself when I was there too. And it's pretty easy to let it get away from you. But you know, we had our chances out there, and we played pretty steady, and our team is coming together pretty good. So the future looks good for us. We're going to have the odd bad game like that, but even when we play bad, we still only lose by 1. So you know, we can hang in there with the best of them.
In the end, it's somehow fitting that 2 of the game's true superstars would find themselves in the final of the McCain SuperSpiel West. Between the 2 of them, Kevin Martin, Ed Lukowicz, well, they have won every single major curling prize available. And let's pick up their final 4th end, score tie 2-2. Kevin Martin, playing Yellow Rocks, lies 2 behind cover. And this his first stone. Martin with the hit and roll off the Lukowicz stone at the edge of the 12-foot and rolls it back 4. And now 3 stones are behind guards. The pressure is on Cool Hand Luke. John Ferguson. Kevin Park, the 3rd for Martin. Lukowicz with just 1 shot. The raise on his own stone. He's got to tap it back to the 4-foot, but it won't get through. Martin steals 3, now leads 5-2.
We get any of those guards off, eh? It's an easy shot to get 2 of them off. Just a little thicker. I might even go through and get something, eh? Jeez. Bad break on that.
Just can't put this.
Lukowicz scratches back with 1 in the 5th, but Martin threatens again in 6 with a chance for 3.
The line should be good.
Martin with shot stone can score 3 with a takeout on the Lukowicz stone at the top of the 8. And the shooter will hang around, and now it's an 8-3 Martin lead. Lukowicz manages to come back with a pair in 7, but not enough, as Kevin Martin wins the McCain SuperSpiel West by a final 10-6 over Ed Lukowicz.
I think Kevin Martin, if other guys play him, they'll find out that he's the toughest team in the world right now to get down on, because, you know, if you're 1 point down, it's not too bad. Like, he'll play with you once they're 3 or 4 points up. You know, they can really throw a gigantic weight and clear all the rocks that are play. So we knew going in, you know, that we had to keep the game close and or be hit all the way. And unfortunately, for ourselves, we had that 1 bad end.
And the win for Kevin Martin gives him a trip to the Skins game final in Saskatoon, where he's hoping for another chance at defending champion Russ Howard.
We were close last time. Russ made just a tremendous intern draw to get us in the 9th end, so hopefully we can be the one drawing the intern this time.
The win also worth $11,000, the title of SuperSpiel West winner, and a trip to the McCain SuperSpiel East in Florenceville, New Brunswick.
McCain took your favorite sandwiches and put them in their pockets. Introducing new McCain ham and cheese and beef and cheddar super pockets. Savor the flavors, 'cause it's the bite you really like. All in a crust crust that's baked, not fried, so there's no leaks, no mess.
Fast to make and eat. It's a bite you'll really love.
New McCain Super Pockets. We filled up our pockets with the flavors you savor.
McCain!
Face it, shaving is a pain. It strips away the skin's moisture, leaving it hot, dry, and burning. But now there's proof you can take the heat out of shaving. Introducing Sensitive from Old Spice. It's the one with cooling sensates, an invigorating blast of real refreshment that cools skin scorched by shaving. Prove it to yourself. Try new Sensitive from Old Spice. It's more than a great scent. This is a cooling blast of real refreshment that takes the heat out of shaving.
The puck never stops here. Guaranteed hockey news of the night. SO NHL Saturday night on Real TV. TSN.
I felt really stupid.
I couldn't even read a menu.
I can make my dream come true now. I'm going to be a nurse.
Once you try, and then that's it. You will be hooked on education.
For help, look in the new yellow pages under Learn.
Welcome to Florenceville, New Brunswick, home of the McCain SuperSpiel East. With a population of 694, located an hour and a half from the capital of Fredericton. Florenceville Curling Club, 4 sheets. So many of the early round games are played in Grand Falls, New Brunswick, a small city about 45 minutes away. As for Florenceville, it has a bank, a grocery store, and every curler's favorite, a pizza place.
What we have to offer in addition to that is probably a quiet little place where people can stay, shop, and I guess maybe that's about what we would have to offer.
But why Florenceville? Simply, it's the world headquarters for McCain Foods, sponsor of the SuperSpiels and the Skins game.
We wanted something that we could do in the 2 communities, both in Grand Falls and Florenceville. And we're limited, obviously, with facilities to certain sports, and curling was one. And as you can appreciate, curling is a very popular sport in Canada today. That, along with hockey, I think probably Canada is supreme in both those areas. And it was felt that curling would be a good would be good from that perspective. That's number 1. Number 2, much of our marketing and support is built around families, and curling is becoming a family sport of some nature, and I think from that perspective we thought it was a good venture as well.
2 points. No one has had greater success in Skins game play than Ed Wernick. In fact, last year was the first time in 8 years of Skins games that the Wrench did not make it to the finals. And to return this year and play for his part of $80,000, he must work his way through a stellar field of teams from Eastern Canada, including last year's winner, Bill Walsh from Ottawa, Prince Edward Islands, Robert Campbell, twice a SuperSpiel runner-up, 2-time provincial champion, 4-time Nova Scotia champion Alan Dara. From Quebec, the Taggart champion, 89-93, Pierre Charette, and 3-time Newfoundland champion, Mark Noseworthy. And in the early going, he was simply unbeatable, winning 2 before meeting Pierre Charette in the round of 16, and then against Pierre, he plays this beautiful freeze without last rock, en route to stealing 2 and an 8-1 win over Charette. In the quarterfinals, he plays Greg Mackin. Lying 1, Mackin tries the delicate raise. Great try, but it would go too far. Wernick would win again, 6-3 on to the semifinals. And there he would face the biggest challenge of the tournament so far, SuperSpiel West winner Kevin Martin. And you know, since that win in Portage, Prairie, the Martin rink hasn't lost a game. In fact, when they faced Wernick, they had won their last 33 games in a row. However, despite Martin's win streak, it was Wernick who definitely had more incentive to win. First, the Wrench has never played well against the blonde skip from Edmonton. The last time they played in a big game was earlier this year in Calgary, and Martin beat Wernick in the final of the VO Cup. And then second, Martin had already earned a spot in the Skins game final. Wernick had to win the SuperSpiel East to make it to Saskatoon.
Right now, Eddie's going really good, and we're kind of struggling a bit, so I don't know. Hopefully we can, all we can try to do is keep it close. He's going to come right after us, because you can see that we're leaking a little oil, and we'll hope to keep close and try to take him near the end.
We'll pick up their semifinal. Score tied 2-2, fourth end. And Wernick, playing red stones, already lies 2. And this is final stone. The out-turn draw. No problem. A wide port. And he'll pick up his 3. 5-2, he now leads. Wernick keeping up the pressure in the 5th. He's lying 3. Martin looking to draw for his single. But this stone would run too straight, be much too heavy, and it was a steal of 2 for Wernick and a 7-2 lead. In the 6th, Martin, playing yellow stones, finally looks to have his chance for at least 3, but all kinds of problems with his draw weight, and he'll only catch 2. And Kevin Martin knows he let a big point get away. 7-4 Wernick after 6. It really wasn't Martin's day. In the 7th, Wernick, another chance to score 2. Now wearing the glasses, and Eddie can see clearly now as he does it again, gathering up his 2nd point, drawing the 4-foot to lead 9-4 over Kevin Martin after 7. Martin would score 2 more, but that's as close as he would come, as Wernick ends Martin's winning streak at 33 straight.
I think they're relieved that they finally lost the game. I mean, when you start counting into the 30s, you know, that put a lot of pressure on you. So they sort of knew the spirit of the thing too. They were playing for the fun of it, and we're playing for our life. So it turned out great.
You know, when you come against Wernick in the semifinal, if he beats you, likely he's going to be going to Saskatoon. You never know. But I can't. He'll be going to Saskatoon. It's tough to beat him. You know, he's coming out for blood. We're pretty complacent. You know, we're just happy to be here, you know, like New Brunswick, and seeing everything and having a few cocktails with all the Maritimers, and we wanted to win. But you know what I mean? We're not we're not ready to kill. And Ed was, and he sure, you know, they beat us bad.
So now, who will Wernick play? Dan Bentley from New Brunswick, Alan Dara of Nova Scotia. Their semifinal when we come back.
Super crisps, super spirals, McCain. What have you done to my fries?
We've spiced them up.
All right.
We've crisped them up.
Brilliant.
We've even curled them up.
Excellent.
McCain has taken its famous super fries, dipped them in light batter, and surrounded them with bite after bite of crispy, crunchy, super spicy satisfaction, straight ahead or curled around. Super crisps and super spirals from McCain. You'll love what we've done to your fries.
Finding life a little dull.
Well, now you got hockey. NHL Hockey 94, the best on ice, starring John Garrett.
John who?
Big check there. Hockey 94. It's fast, it's furious, and sometimes downright embarrassing. But most of all, hockey is about winning. Champion! Hockey 94, the best on ice, only from Quality Video, and it's in stores now.
It's Nova Scotia's Alan Dara against Dan Bentley, the Nova Scotia native, but now living in St. John, New Brunswick in this 2nd semifinal. The teams exchange points in the first 2 ends, but then Dara, playing Bluestones, has an opportunity here in the 3rd. Dara, with hammer, needs to hit and stick for his 2. No problem for the former Nova Scotia champion. He's up 3-1 over Bentley after 3 ends. Bentley gets 1 in 4. Then Dara threatens again in 5. Dara lying 2 with hammer. This is Dan Bentley's final stone, looking to make the double to get himself out of trouble. 1, 2, and he makes it. Dara would settle for 1, 4-2 after 5. Dara gets last rock back in 7, and you see the yellow stone, 4 foot, That belongs to Dan Bentley. Dara's final stone, looking for the double to score possibly 3. 1, 2. Will it go far enough? And it does, as he scores 3 to take a 7-3 lead. Bentley tries to rally in 8, but little success. Dara wins it 7-3 as he runs Bentley out of rocks, and now advances to the final to play Ed Wernick.
I probably played Ed 4 times in my career, and I managed to beat him once at Ottawa, but they're a tough team. They're a top-class professional team, and we'll go out and see what happens, I guess.
So the scene is set. Ed Wernick, with just one more win, would return to his curling Shangri-La, the McCain TSN Skins game.
I think that the Skins game is the last bona fide fair treatment for the curler. It's an opportunity to play on live TV, exciting curling, and get paid very well if you're successful. The Brier is live TV and really exciting, but you don't get anything for it. It's a hard comparison to make, but if I had to have my choice and I had to make it right here, I'd rather play in the Skins game.
And the money certainly is there, because between the 2 McCain SuperSpiels and the McCain TSN Skins game, $160,000 is available, while on the other hand, the Brier offers no prize money. Curlers play for national pride. Kevin Martin says it's time for a change.
We're really tired of playing for pride. you know, you can only put so much pride in your pocket before, you get filled up with pride and there's no monetary value to it. That's why the Skins and also the World Curling Tour is becoming so big so fast, is that we're finally playing for a decent amount of money.
So it's Ed Wernick against Alan Dara in the final at Florenceville, with the winner going to Saskatoon and the 94 McCain TSN Skins game. Pick it up, second end, Dara leading 1-0, but Wernick has a chance to score 3. Yep. He's got to make the hit and stick. Well. There it is, and he gets away with the jam to score his 3 and take a 3-1 lead. On to the third end now. Wernick without last rock, his final stone.
Yep. Roll it.
Neil Harrison, Pat Perot, the front end, looking for the hit and roll behind that corner guard, covering the edge of the 8-foot, and an absolute beauty from the wrench. To lie 2. Dara now forced to draw full 8-foot for a single, but he would come up short, and Ed Wernick would steal a crucial 2 to take a 5-1 lead after 3, and seemingly very much in control. But oh, how this game turned around. Look at here in the 8th. Dara rallying and lying 5. Wernick, though, the saving grace. He has the hammer.
Yeah! Hit it! Where is it? Switch the goddamn thing!
The shooter would roll too far, and it would be a steal of 3 for Dara to get him back in. 8-6, Wernick leading. But that's as close as Dara would get, as Wernick would hang on to win it. 8-6 the final, earning another trip to the McCain TSN Skins game.
It feels really good. If you recall our earlier conversation with you, I think this TSN Skins game is a premier event in the whole curling world, and I'm just excited as hell to be going back.
And so in the opening semifinal of this year's McCain TSN Skins game, Ed Wernick will meet the defending champion Russ Howard. And then later that day, it'll be the Canadian and world champion Rick Folk against Kevin Martin at 8 p.m. Eastern. Now, on behalf of everyone, thanks for traveling with us down the road to the McCain TSN Skins game.
This is TSN.